Hello to all you out there, especially those of our Crossroads Club now hopefully watching Crosswires. And I'm going today to tell you a story which some of you might have heard before. This is a parable. It's called a parable of the sower. And this parable is about a farmer who went out and sowed some seed to grow some crops. But before we start, do you know what a parable is? Okay, well, it's just a normal story, but a story with a very special meaning about God and Jesus and us. And Jesus used to tell these stories about everyday things that people understood, so they could know exactly the meaning behind the story. So what about this farmer? He decided it was time to go and sow his crops. And he took some seed and went into his field to sow it. Now, in the days when Jesus was on the earth, they didn't have tractors and machinery to use. So a farmer would put a bag over his shoulder and he'd fill it full of grain. And then he would walk the field and throw a handful at a time about, scattering it all around. Well, it was difficult to control exactly where it went. So some fell along the path, some among the rocks and the stones, and some among the weeds and the thorns, and some, of course, on the good soil. Well, that fell on the path, the birds came down and ate it all up. The seed that fell among the rocks didn't have much soil, and so it started to grow, and the sun came out and the new shoots just shriveled up in the heat and withered away. The seeds that fell in the weeds, they started to grow, but the weeds grew stronger and faster, so they choked the new shoots of the wheat. But the seed that fell on the good soil, it grew well, and it produced lots and lots of grain for the farmer to harvest. So what does all this mean? Well, the seed on the path is like people who hear about God and heaven, but they don't understand it. The seed among the rocks is people who hear and understand God and heaven at first, but then things get a bit tough and they soon forget all about it. The seed in the thorns is like people who put their trust in other things that doesn't really matter. Our possessions, our earthly treasures like toys and our bikes and our phones and our game machines and things like that. And for grown-ups, it might be cars and watches and jewellery and things. Things we can't keep when we die. The seed in the good soil are those who hear and believe about God and heaven and Jesus, and God blesses and protects them and gives them a home in heaven. Which one do you think is the best to be? That's right, the one who believes Jesus died to take away their sin. The good soil, because we want to grow in knowing and believing Jesus. Well, thanks for listening, and I'm now going to sing a song about this parable. Some of you may know it. It's called the Ballad of Farmer Phil. If you know it, join in. The words will be along the bottom of the screen. Have fun and enjoy, and I'll wait to see you next time. Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seed. He scattered here, he scattered there, he scattered everywhere. Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seed. Some fell on the path and down the birdies came, 'cause they love nothing better than to gobble up the grain. Oh, Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seeds. Some fell on the rocks and all of them their shoots withered in the sun because they have no roots. Oots, 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 oots. Oh, Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seed. He scattered here, he scattered there, he scattered, scattered everywhere. Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seed. Some fell in the thorns, and even though they grew, thorns choked the plants and the plants could bear no fruit. Oh, Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seed. Some fell in the good soil, up and up they came. They grew and grew and grew into a bumper crop of grain. Ain, 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 ain. Oh, Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seed. He scattered there, he scattered here, he scattered, scattered everywhere. Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seed. Well, the seed's the word of God, and the word of God is true. Is that word of God gonna grow and grow in you? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, Farmer Phil went out one day out to sow some seed. Out to sow some seed. Brilliant. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see what we can sing for next time.